In this video, I'm gonna talk about integrated pest management. Hello everyone, my name is Arbab Tariq. Let's start the topic. Definition: a philosophy of utilizing all suitable techniques and methods to keep pest population below economic injury level. Each method used should be environmentally sound and compatible with the producer's objectives. Basic concepts of IPM include: complete eradication or suppression of all the insects is not possible. Applying two or more control measures in integrated fashion to control the pest. Exploiting natural mortality factor. IPM strategies should be ecologically feasible, socially acceptable, and economically reliable. Stakeholders must bother the use of IPM rather than using pesticides only as a solution to the pest control. Let's have a look to the details of these concepts one by one. Number 1. Complete eradication of all the insects is not possible.
These critters make up approximately 75% of all animals on Earth. So what's their secret to success? Insect abundance comes down to many things that together make them some of the most adaptable and resilient creatures, beginning with their impressive ability to breed. Many species can produce hundreds of offspring within their lifetimes. Most offspring will die, but more than enough will survive into adulthood to reproduce. Offspring also mature very rapidly, so the cycle of reproduction resumes quickly and can occur over and over again in a short time. These numbers mean that as a class, insects harbor a tremendous amount of genetic diversity. The different species contain a wealth of genetic data that give them the necessary adaptations they need to thrive in a range of environments across the planet. Even some of the most extreme environments are in bounds. Flat bark beetles can live at -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Sahara desert ants can venture out when surface temperatures exceed 155 degrees. And some bumblebees can survive 18,000 feet above sea level. Insect exoskeletons also work like body armor, protecting insects against the outside world and helping them cope with habitats that other creatures can't. Even their small size, which we might see as a disadvantage, is something they use to their benefit. Because most species are so tiny, millions of insects can inhabit a small space and make use of all the available resources within it. This means they can occupy hundreds of different niches across ecosystems. Some insects survive by eating the roots, stems, leaves, seeds, pollen, and nectar of specific plants. Others, like wasps, make use of live insects by paralyzing the victims and laying their eggs inside, so that when the hatchlings emerge, they can eat their way out and get nourishment. Metamorphosis means the larvae and adults of one species will never compete for the same resource, so they successfully share an ecological niche without limiting their own success. This process is so efficient that an incredible 86% of insect species undergo complete metamorphosis.
Number 2. To apply two or more control measures in integrated fashion.
Combination of mechanical, biological, and chemical methods, such as mechanical or physical removal of pests, diseased plant parts, and weeds, the use of natural predators or pheromone traps, the use of natural products like oils and botanical products, and the use of synthetic chemical plant protection products. Where agrochemical applications are made, optimal application techniques must be followed and agrochemical resistance prevented, for example, by the rotation of active ingredients. Overall, IPM is considered as a flexible system. It consists of a combination of different methods and must suit the local conditions under which the particular crop is produced.
It calls for targeting simultaneously the entire pest population and allows the proactive coordination of control measures when the pest is most vulnerable, rather than reacting when it nears damage levels. In this way, pest populations can be contained at low levels for longer periods. Having lower pest density also means that pest management methods can be integrated that are less reliant on insecticides, such as beneficial insects and sanitation, and that address ecological and environmental concerns, such as insects becoming resistant to pesticides. Another such method is the sterile insect technique, which is a species-specific type of birth control for insects. The technique relies on rearing, sterilizing, and then systematically releasing male insects, which seek out and mate with fertile wild females that, as a result, produce no offspring.
Number 3. to exploit natural mortality factor.
Like the aphid, the parasitic wasp measures only 2 millimeters. After the parasitic wasp has emerged from the mummy, it will search for the pest, in this case the aphid, in order to reproduce. Within half a second, she deposits an egg inside the aphid. This is called parasitism. In the course of a few days, the aphid will swell because of the growing parasitic wasp larva inside its body and will then change into a mummy. After about 2 weeks, the fully grown parasitic wasp will make a hole from the inside through which it leaves the mummy. If the wasp is a female, she will look for a male to mate with. Immediately after this, she will start searching for aphids to deposit her eggs in. In this way, the number of aphids will decrease and a biological balance will be reached. The second example is the control of spider mite. It is supplied as adult mite in a shaker bottle. A predatory mite is a real predator because it kills its prey by eating it or by pricking it and sucking it empty. The development of the predatory mite is similar to that of the two-spotted spider mite. Like many beneficials, the predatory mite can only live when its prey is present.
We modify the friendly bacteria so that they produce the inhibitor. The bacteria are taken up by the insect and go back to living in its gut. Here they continuously produce the inhibitor, which turns off a target gene in the insect host, and the bacteria can be passed on to other members of an insect colony, and even their offspring. We call this technique symbiont-mediated RNAi, or SMR.
Number 4. IPM strategies should be ecologically feasible. Number 5. Socially acceptable. Number 6. Economically reliable.
IPM can be defined as the process of balanced use of cultural, biological, and chemical procedures that are environmentally compatible, economically feasible, and socially acceptable to reduce pest populations to tolerable levels. Food and Agricultural Organization (FAO) also defined pest management as compatible manner in which pest population levels are maintained below those causing economic loss. I stands for integrated, that is, harmonious use of multiple methods to control the impact of single pest as well as multiple pests. P stands for pest, any organism that is harmful to humans and crops, including weed or pathogens. And M stands for management, which refers to a set of decisions or rules based on ecological principles, economic and social consideration.
Number 7. Stakeholders consider only the use of pesticide as a solution to the pest management. That is the wrong concept.
Area-wide pest management requires the active and informed commitment of numerous stakeholders and even of whole communities. Only through this commitment is it possible to achieve the effective, sustainable and environmentally friendly control of insect pests needed to ensure global food security, prevent disease and protect our environment.
Hope the video covered the pest management as a whole. Thank you.